Coming to you live from the JRE Tobacco Aladino Mobile Studios, it's the Cigar Pulpit.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm the Bishop of the Burn, Nick, and today I'm doing a little housekeeping. Kind of taking care of a few things. I've got a nice, smorgasbord of content for you today. And I am back in the Aladino Studios, not the mobile Aladino Studios. I'm in the garage, and so, we don't have weird audio today. I apologize to everybody for that episode I did with Ken. I don't know what happened. It had to do with my lapel mics. Something happened with those lapel mics to where my mic and his mic basically created two channels of a stereo mix. And so if you were listening on the earbuds, I was coming in one ear and Ken was coming in the other ear, and it was just an awkward thing. And, awkward. And then also, it doesn't help that I completely forgot to edit out the part when he got a UPS delivery. I meant to. Completely forgot, though. Anyway, that's what I get for doing one on the road. All right. Well, we're back. We're settled. We're going to do one now here and get this thing rolling. So, first things first, I'm going to fire up a cigar. And today, I am going to light up a West Tampa Tobacco Black Toro. It's a 6x52 Toro featuring an Ecuadorian Habano wrapper, Nicaraguan binder, and filler from Nicaragua from Condega and Esteli. And it's time to cut the cigar. And the official cutting is brought to you by 2guyscigars.com. That's the number 2guyscigars.com. Two Guys have been around for over 40 years, and they are the trusted name in the cigar industry. Everybody knows Two Guys, but if you don't, please give them a try. You won't be sorry. Family owned and operated, 2guyscigars.com does the very best to provide a great selection, fair prices, and excellent customer service. So head on over to 2guyscigars.com for your next cigar purchase. Tell them that the Cigar Pulpit sent you. And remember, that's the number 2guyscigars.com. And with that, it's time to go ahead and cut the cigar. I got my proper cutter back, so I get the nice, the clicky noise that I like. It all works, You gotta have the tools. I don't fly with my cutter. I don't trust TSA to not take my cutter. It's one of those things where the rules state that you can take a cigar cutter on the plane as long as it is packaged properly as to not harm a TSA agent if they are searching your bag. However, with that being said, I don't trust them to not take my cutter, because I find that with rules like that, sometimes one agent might think one thing and another agent might think another thing. And if I'm going to lose a cutter, I want it to be like a cheapy plastic cutter. Do I have one? I do. Hang on. Like a Craftsman bench kind of thing, like this, I want to make sure it's a nice cheap plastic cutter if they're gonna take one from me. So anyway, for what it's worth, I don't fly with my cutter. But anyway, all right. Well, I'm gonna fire up my cigar, and while I do, you guys can hear the greatest commercial you've ever heard.
Some say cigars are all the same. It's just not true. It's you I have to blame.
Well, I don't know, 'cause what I know, there is a cigar called Aladino Corojo.
Aladino Corojo. Aladino Corojo. They say authentic, so we're not confused, while the others say it's a word that's just abused.
I guess that's so. They can't compete. At least I'm sure Aladino can't be beat.
Corojo. Aladino Corojo. Aladino Corojo. Aladino Cigars use authentic Corojo tobacco from JRE Tobacco. This is the greatest commercial you ever heard.
Yeah. All right. So, let's get into it. Where should I start? I got a couple of points here. I'll start with my trip. So, yep, I got a cheap flight and I went down to Florida again. Went down last week, was down, hung out for a little bit. Would have been the weekend Pulpit Fest would have been on if I would have kept it in August, ironically. And trust me, guys, you're going to be glad I moved, because while it did rain, it wasn't, there were some times it was pretty hard rain, but the heat, it was hot. It was hot. Not as bad as 2 years ago. 2024 was easily the worst humidity. Like, I remember that year at Pulpit Fest, and it felt like somebody was dumping a bucket of water on me every time I walked outside, and I never stopped sweating the whole time. At least this year, or this time, it wasn't that bad, but it was still one of those days, one of those weeks where it was like, it was nice to hang out inside the lounge, the air conditioning. But anyway, so I went down, just kind of hung out, and spent some time with Erica, and just kind of hung out and everything. And, we had Kenn's birthday, and that was nice. But, I put the newspaper together for this week. And so I flew back on Wednesday, which is newspaper delivery day. And this week was a big week at the paper. I had a big legal notice, which, for those of you who don't know, if you don't look at a newspaper much, you may not know these, but the government bodies and various things, they have to run notices in the newspaper by law. And one of the things that I have to run every year is the property assessment notice. And it's just a notice from the county assessor detailing all the parcels in an area and how much they have deemed that those parcels are assessed for. And it has to do with property taxes. It's a good bit of revenue for me. I'm not going to lie. There's a push by lawmakers to try and allow governments to put that online and not have to put it in the newspaper. The moment they do that, it's going to suck really, really bad for me. But for right now, they still have to do it. And it's a good chunk of money. It did result in my paper being like a 40-page edition this week, which is really big for me. And so I got that done, and I sent that up to my printer on Tuesday. Well, I got the paper, got it delivered around, and that's when I noticed that my printer screwed up, and they accidentally printed pages 7 through 12 from last week's paper in place of pages 7 through 12 of this week's paper. Now, it's annoying. You don't want to reprint pages, but it's one of those things where maybe, just maybe, I could have lived with it. Except for the fact that the very last page, page 12 of this messed up section, was the very first page of the gigantic legal notice for the property assessments. And that is unacceptable. So the long and short is my printer had to eat the cost of this, and I'm thankful they did. But it's one of those things that I had to reprint and redeliver the newspapers today. So every one of my subscribers is going to get a second copy in the mail tomorrow, and they're going to wonder why I'm crazy. Some of them are not going to notice the difference. I've had literally 2 people all day today reach out and say, hey, you reprinted some pages from last week. One was a guy whose legal notice ran in last week's paper, and he wanted to make sure I wasn't going to double bill him. And one was someone looking for the obituary of their friend and didn't see it and wanted to know if it would be in next week's paper. The long and short, I'm probably going to have more people reach out and be like, why did I get 2? Versus reaching out and saying, why did you reprint these pages? Which just goes to show how much these people actually pay attention. Neither here nor there, once again. But it's been a giant pain in my ass. And here I am now, sitting and recording this episode for Friday, tomorrow. It's no secret I'm recording this in advance and putting it out for Friday. And I have a whopping 3 hours, right at exactly 3 hours until I fire up the Zoom herf for this month. So I am boom, boom, boom. I'm just knocking down the dominoes today. So it's a busy day here in Nickville. But anyway, speaking of which, Zoom herfs. Yes, if you're listening to this on Friday, you missed the August Zoom herf. It was last night. It would have been, well, while you're hearing it, it would have been last night. It would have been Thursday, August 27th. And I know I've talked about doing one again, but I do have Max this weekend. And so it's one of those things where it's like, I can't really do that. So what's going to happen is I'm going to do 2 days in September. We're going to do the upcoming Zoom herf for September will be Friday, September 18th and Saturday, September 19th. So we're going to have 2 days of Zoom herfing in September. That way we kind of make up for maybe some people that couldn't make the August one because it was on a Thursday night. Hopefully that works for you and you can join us. Had a few people email asking about the August one, so I'm hoping that they joined in. It's a lot of fun. It's a good time, and we have fun on that. So, yeah, and that one will be the last one, the September 18th and 19th. That will be the last Zoom herfs before Pulpit Fest, and Pulpit Fest we will have cameras set up, and we'll be doing Zoom from Pulpit Fest one night. But it's going to be real loose. It's basically going to be like you're kind of going to have like surveillance camera footage of Pulpit Fest. I don't know how many people are going to be actively talking to the Zoomers from the event. Some might, some may not. I don't know. That's kind of, we're kind of shooting in the dark on this one. This was kind of just an idea to try and integrate that part of the community into the event. And so, and quite frankly, give you guys FOMO to be like, look at what you're missing. We want you to look at it and be like, oh my God, I want to be there next year. Anyway, so no, just mark that on your calendars, Friday, September 18th and Saturday, September 19th. Otherwise, what else do I have to talk about? So this week I did talk to a few industry folks. When you go down to Florida, you tend to bump into some. And let me tell you guys, I've been saying it, and you're hearing it, but I don't know if you're understanding and realizing it. Things are bad. Things are real bad. August was, without a doubt, one of the worst months, if not the worst month so far this year for a lot of companies. We're talking big bad. And it's not just that. There are various metrics you can look at that talk about it. But it's not a good time right now. So there are definitely companies that are scrambling and trying to make some numbers. Now, I know STG, Scandinavian Tobacco, they put out their quarterly earnings and whatnot and everything. And, on paper, it looks pretty good. They on paper are showing a couple of really good things. They showed, higher net profit. Their free cash is up really, really big. Now there's some reasons for that. Specifically, they had a payment system that they rolled out in Europe that was delayed with collecting some money from accounts, and STG did collect all of that in the first half of this year. So there's more money that was previously owed to them that has come in. Additionally, they did get a refund of some tariff money that they paid. So that was a big chunk of money that came in. But the long and short is their profit's up and their cash is up and all that. But like sales are kind of like baseline, basically. So when you read between the numbers, read between the lines on that, guys, it's pretty obvious. And it's not just them. I'm using them because they actually put out a report that states this, but there's a lot of companies that are doing the exact same thing. They're just not publicly traded, so you can't really prove it. But the long and short is prices went up and sales are either flatlined or down, but because prices went up enough, they're showing profit and cash on hand and all that kind of stuff. So the long and short is, yeah, they have the price increases are keeping some of these guys like in the black and showing what they're doing. So take that for what it's worth. But yeah, things are rough right now. And there are reps that are kind of freaking out, putting in a lot of effort, not getting a lot of reward back for it. And it's a bad time for some of these guys right now. So to that point, when you're in the cigar lounges and, maybe a rep rolls in and is looking to talk to the owner and whatnot, just, be nice. They're probably, odds are good, they're probably not having a good day, because not a lot of them are having great days right now. Even though, see, that's the thing. We all think that being a cigar rep is super fun. We all think, oh my God, just go around to lounges and sit and smoke cigars and drink and talk to guys. The pressure, guys, the sales pressure on these reps is just astronomical. And every retailer is different. Every retailer brings its own set of pluses and minuses to the table. Some of them are bigger or more extreme or, wackier than the others. And so, these guys have to keep track of that. And sometimes it's weird. And then, maybe something that seems logical to the retailer and the rep, when the rep approaches their home company with it, the home company is like, what the hell are you doing? Absolutely not. And so then you have that problem to contend with. So there's all kinds of different little nuances going into this that are just making things very difficult right now. So for what it's worth, like I said, when you see a rep, just, be nice. Not that I expect you to be mean. I'm sure all of you are nice to your local cigar reps. Anyway, otherwise, the other thing I thought I would do this episode, because some of you called in, I've got some calls banked up, so we'll go ahead and clear the phone lines so that we can have a fresh bank of calls for the next time. So let's do a little Ask the Pulpit.
Shall we play a game?
You talking to me? I have a question for you.
You gotta ask me nicely.
Ask me about my winner.
You got a question? You ask the 8-ball.
Come on, sucker. Let's get it on.
Let's get it on, indeed. You guys can call the hotline at area code 863-874-0000. That's 863-874-0000, and leave a message with your comment, question, criticism, whatever you may have. And, yeah, we'll go from there. But let's go ahead and go to the phone lines and listen to the first call. Maybe.
Nicholas Walter Aloysius McGillicuddy Miller III. How the heck are you?
I'm good.
This is Chris from Norman, Oklahoma. I'm listening to you talk to Trey Mac.
What up, Chris?
And it kind of, you guys are currently in the episode, which I've paused, you're talking about bundles instead of selling the full box. And this is something that I've thought about for a while, because anytime I hear the word bundle, I've been smoking cigars for 30 years. So anytime I hear the word bundle, I think of something that's a little bit lower in quality. So it may just
Fair.
be a terminology thing. What if manufacturers like Aladino or even Padron or whomever that you're talking about currently on the Pulpit Show, what if they called them box refills? Because that would tell somebody, hey, it's the same exact cigar. It's just a refill for the current box that you already have once it gets empty. So I was listening to that and it popped into my mind, and I wanted to at least share that or give it a call, as far as it not necessarily being, a secondary or second or lower quality cigar, but it might just be a terminology issue. So if they approach it in a way that, hey, this is the exact same cigar, it's just a refill for the box that you currently own, maybe that would give a little bit better mental picture to the buyer. So, I don't know, just something I thought I hope you're having a great Sunday. And keep it up, man. By the way, sorry I missed the 7-year anniversary call-in line. I just got crazy busy with sports medicine stuff with all of my sports going on, and I just completely brain farted and forgot it. But thank you for everything that you do, giving us the content that you do. It is much appreciated. It is much enjoyed. So I hope you...
Oh. And your phone cut out at
have
the
a good
end.
one. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Cut out at the end, but that's all right. Thank you for the call, Chris. And you didn't miss anything because we still got your call in, and we're in the window. What is it? You know how it goes with women. We have a birthday month. Well, you know what? We'll put the dot in on August. What was that? 19th? Shit, I can't remember. 13th, 19th, 13th. Whatever the fucking day was. I can't remember what day I was. This is the problem. This is why I don't do the anniversaries. I can't remember the damn date. Anyway, whatever the date was, we'll put the dot in that, and we'll go 15 days in either direction. I'm sure we're still probably in the window at this point. So, yeah, we're in the window. We're in the month. We're in the anniversary month. Just like birthday month. Oh, my God. You make a valid point about terminology, especially in the cigar industry. And let's be real. Changing a term in the cigar industry is totally not unheard of. Mexican tobacco was a thing until everybody kind of was like, ew, nobody wants Mexican tobacco. And then all of a sudden it became San Andreas. Indonesian tobacco, it's a thing, it's around and everything, but we call it Sumatra. So, yeah, terminology is a big deal. Look, with cigars and really anything, but definitely with cigars, story and fancy buzzwords, they account for a lot. They account for a lot. And so, no, I box refills. I think box refills, phrasing it in that such a way, I would agree, because you're right. When you hear the term bundle, you think of a budget cigar. You think of something that's I don't want to say like inferior, but you're thinking of like a more budget friendly literally, I just use it in the definition, a budget friendly bundle cigar. And so, yeah, I could definitely see where the terminology there is important in order to preserve the perceived quality. So yeah, I'm with you on that. Anyway, thanks for the call, Chris. I appreciate it. And you have a very large name for me too. I forget that. So, all right, we got another caller here.
Hey, buddy.
What up, Noah?
I got one for you. Okay, this is Noah, by the way, if you haven't picked up on that.
I did.
All right, so here's the thing. You get $5 million.
Oh, okay. It's one of these.
You have to do one shot of Fireball every hour for 24 hours for a week. If you can't make it any way through, you don't get any money. You can drink, water, all that. And naturally, you're going to ask, I need to sleep. Well, you can pass out and sleep what you need, but you have to do a shot of Fireball every hour for 24 hours for a week. You're successful, you get $5 million. You can puke, you can do all that, you can drink water, whatever, but you have to do a shot of Fireball every week or every hour, 24 hours for a week. Do you attempt this? If you win, you get $5 million. If you fail, you get nothing. You try it. Look forward to your answer.
I absolutely hate Fireball. I hate fake cinnamon so much. I can't stand it. It's disgusting. But on the prospect of $5 million for me to do 168 shots of it in a week, 24 shots a day, I'll do it. I'll do it all day. I'll do it all week is what'll happen. I am curious about something here. Let me check it just to see. Okay. Fireball is 66 proof, so 33% ABV. It's weak shit. So yes, I will 100% do that. It's going to suck. I'm going to hate my life for a week. I'm just going to go ahead. Yeah, I'm going to find a way to like, it's going to have to be kind of like when you're sick and you set an alarm to like wake yourself up to take medicine in the night, kind of thing. I'm going to have to do something like that in order to keep up on the shots, because the last thing in the world I want is to have like a double shot or, God forbid, a triple shot. The goal of this is to spread these out an hour apart so that I never actually get drunk. I don't want to get drunk. And I definitely do not want to get drunk on Fireball. That is just gross. I remember when that came out. I was in college, I think, when that came out. And it was it's still popular, but oh God, it was horrendous. I can't stand it. Never was able to stand it. It's just nasty. So, but for $5 million, I would 100% do it. 100%. No questions asked. No hesitation. No questions asked. I would do it. So, all right. We got another call here.
JRE Blaze here. I would like to give my 2 cents, as it were, about this segment about not smoking for $1 million there. I could give up some time there to accumulate some wealth there.
That's what I'm saying.
But really, you need to ask yourself there, Mr. Miller, what is the point of money if you can't spend on the things you like? In other words, what I'm trying to say there is, you could take up, take a couple months off of smoking cigars there and accumulate masses of wealth there. But what good is it if you can't buy the things you like? And more importantly, relax and reflect on things that your wealth has accrued, and what better way to do that with a cigar there? So old Jerry Pulaski here probably would give up 10 minutes. I'm not sure what the breakdown would that be.
You'd make like $1.40,
a couple $100 there. But again, what's the point of you can only buy so much blackberry brandy, as it turns out. If you can't reflect on your earnings and your newfound wealth there with a cigar, what is the point of money after you've paid off all your debts and what have you there? Anyway, that is my 2 cents. Yes, it turns out.
Well, look at the logical, well thought out answer from Jerry Pulaski, of all people. He's right. I 100% agree with him. There is no point in accumulating that much wealth if you're not happy. To that point, like I said, I would do it for a little while. I mean, I'm not going to lie and say that I'm going to do it forever. I don't think it's reasonable for me to lie to myself or any of you and say that, oh yeah, no, I'll never have another cigar again, as long as I'm making $1 million a day. Will I give it the old college try and get like 3 to 6 months under my belt so that I could make, $90 to $200 million? You better believe it. I'm going to give myself massive generational wealth. Now granted, is it as massive as if I were to give it up for like a couple of years? No, I guess maybe not, but I'm sure as hell going to give it a shot. I don't know. Keeping this guy going. It's a little humid out today. It's more pleasant, temperature wise, but there is a slight bit of humidity, and it did cause a little bit of a crack in my West Tampa Black here. But I hit it with some Cigar. By the way, for those of you coming to Pulpit Fest, I want to thank the fine folks at Cigar, because Cigar has very generously sent sticks of Cigar for everybody's goodie bag. So you will be each getting your own Cigar to try and utilize on your cigars. And so please do so. Please use it, if needed. And I would encourage those of you who are coming and you get it and use it, take it back to your home shop. Show your retailers at home, hey, this is a pretty good tool. It's a nice add-on for you to have at the register, and it's handy, dandy. So anyway, there's that. So thank you to Cigar for being a goodie bag partner at Pulpit Fest 2026. All righty, we still got some more calls here. Let's go ahead and listen to this one.
What is up, Nick?
What up?
It's Tyler from Pennsylvania. First off, just want to say I listened to your episode with Rayback, and I thought it was kind of funny that you guys were talking about me and couldn't figure out my name. But shout out Trey Mac for the shout out. Appreciate you, homie. But
it wasn't personal.
Yeah, unfortunately, no. Caring about the NFL is one of the things that I do the most. Not caring about the NFL is one of the things that I do the most. So, not really a fan of the NFL anymore, unless they were doing a college football fantasy draft. Then I'd be 100% in.
There you go.
But I just wanted to call in and say that I'm getting ready to smoke my first Corojo cigar. I'm smoking the Gran Habano Corojo No. 5 Gran Robusto. So it is Monday, August 24th, and just wanted to call in with a little bit of an update. Can't wait to see you guys on the Zoom Herf. Talk to y'all later. Stay safe, stay smoky.
Peace. And yeah, dude, sorry, it was nothing personal. What it is it's called age. It's called you get to a certain point in your life and suddenly a word is on the tip of your tongue and your brain is just misfiring and you cannot possibly think of what that word is, or in this case, name. And it happened to both of us. So, you're not there yet, but just wait, you'll get there. And then you'll know what happened to us. As for your first Corojo cigar, there you go. I mean, it's always good to expand out and try different cigars. You should get yourself Aladino. It's good Corojo. Good Corojo. Anyway, looks like you called back. Let's listen to this one.
What's up, Nick? Tyler again. So I'm calling in with an update on this Gran Habano Corojo. I'm maybe halfway through, kind of getting close to the final third, but this thing tastes like you take some peanuts or cashews or walnuts or almonds or whatever, and you throw them in a bag of mulch, sift out all the dust, and then you sprinkle some nutmeg on top of it. That is what I'm getting from this. There's my Mr. Jonathan
I was going to say
bit for you guys, but yeah, that's pretty much what I'm getting from this. There's like a slight baking spice nutmeg on the retrohale, but other than that, yeah, this just tastes like some nuts dipped in some mulch. Yeah. Stay safe, stay smoky. Later.
What a creative way of describing that. Give the Aladino Corojo a try. You're not going to get that nuts and mulch kind of thing going on. There's a pepper component that you're missing that the Aladino Corojo definitely has. That is nice. It gives it that nice peppery spice to it. I did want to note the music in your background there. You, Tyler's that cat who, when he gets on the Zoom Herf, he's got this like smooth jazz kind of playing in the background. And it always cracks my shit up. He's just chilling out. He's got this nice chill music going on, and sounds like you were doing the same thing again. Maybe chilling out on the patio with your smooth music and smoking your cigar. So, anyway, it's funny. I love it. So. All right, man. Thanks for the calls, and we will. Shit, man. I'm probably going to see you in about 2.5 hours. So, all right, we got one more call here.
Hey, Nick, Chris, Crafty Fireman from Maryland.
What up, Chris?
Hey, man, I am in the middle of watching your episode with Kenn at Ash and Ale, and I am laughing my ass off. You got to do more of this off the cuff stuff. It is great. The European Village, great place. You're talking about your incident with the P, kind of reflects back to the 1 or 2 times I've been there. Evening I met you, Monkey was in there, and there was some disturbance in the parking behind, and he goes rolling out looking like a bouncer from a bar, yelling and screaming back there. Maybe the same people. And then we had that dude that come in the front door, and he's under some kind of influence or a little off kilter in the gray matter. But it's an interesting place. But you're in the middle of reviewing the shandy, and you have one sip, and I think you're already drunk or something. But it's funny. I'm laughing. Keep it up, and I can't wait to finish this.
Dude, Chris, I am not a drinker. It's just one of those things. I did it a lot in college. And over the years, it just kind of has like trickled away more and more. And so, I'm not going to tell you I was drunk after one sip, but, I was like, whoa. And it had a little bit of a tartness to it and, whatever. So yeah, I mean, I wasn't drunk, but it was definitely, now by the end of that, I was feeling a little warm. I'll admit, I'm not much of a drinker, but which is going to make this whole shot an hour of Fireball for $5 million a trick, but I'm going to do it because I want the $5 million bucks. As for Ash and Ale, man, or not even Ash and Ale, I shouldn't put it on that. As for the European Village, it's a nice place. They have some really nice places there, some good restaurants and everything else. But man, there's one bar that stays open later than everybody else. And it seems like that one bar, because they stay open later than everybody else, is just kind of this like magnet for shit. And unfortunately, it's 2 doors down from Kenn's place. To where, when shit's going on in the back parking lot there, sometimes it's a thing. And I will say this, Monkey is not a dude I would want to mess around with. I mean, for those of you who haven't met him, you're sitting there going like, his name is Monkey. How bad can he be? He is a built dude. He is, the nicest man, but he's not a dude that I would want to piss off because he seems like he could be extraordinarily intimidating if he wanted to be. And, so he when you're describing him as like a bouncer type, he definitely has that going on. And dude, I completely forgot about the guy that came in and was talking to us that night that you and I and Ricky and your brother, I think it was your brother, were hanging out with us up there. That dude, he 100% was on something. 100% was on something. It's just one of those things that you never quite know. I mean, and let's be real, that can happen in a lot of different places. But for whatever reason, and I don't know if it's because there's multiple businesses in one spot, and so maybe it attracts a crowd of it or whatever. But the European Village every once in a while has their colorful characters. But yeah, it's it's an interesting place. So anyway, thank you all for giving me a call. I appreciate it. Golly, this is almost turning like into Ask the Pulpit Friday, like a regular segment with it. I'm loving it. You guys are 100% crushing it on the phone calls, and you're being so helpful with that because, like I said, with the summer, it's been crazy, and that has aspects have cooled down, but then other aspects are firing up. Like it's one of those things. I don't have my son, obviously, nearly as much now because he's got school again. But now I'm in the last month before Pulpit Fest, and my God, the amount of work that we have to finalize all that up and everything. It's adding up. So no, I definitely appreciate the phone calls. Keep them coming, and let me know your thoughts and opinions and questions and all that. So we will go from there. Anyway, give me a call hotline, area code 863-874-0000. So I may have incorrectly attributed my crack on this cigar to the humidity, because I did take off the band. I didn't have to. I wasn't quite there yet, but I did. And my God, the crack goes all the way down the body of the cigar. So it definitely looks like the cigar encountered some damage at some point or another, and I guess I was just unlucky to be the one to pick it up and buy it. But thankfully, the Ciglue has sealed it up through there. I'm being gentle with it because, look, the Ciglue, it does seal it up, but it's still damaged. I don't want to say it's back to perfect. So, I'm being ginger with it. I'm keeping that cracked part like kind of at the top, so that I'm not like, gripping it by that or anything like that. So, we're taking it easy. But all right, let's do this now. It's time for the Villiger Cigars Entertainment Report, brought to you by
Villiger.
Villiger Cigars, one of the leading cigar and cigarello manufacturers in the world, founded in 1888 and still family-owned and operated. Head over to VilligerCigars.com and check the store locator to find a shop near you that carries them. We guarantee that Villiger Cigars will be a wonderful addition to your humidor and cigar rotation. I will say it's been a minute since I smoked the West Tampa Black, and this was the very first Parishioner Cigar of the Year. The first year that we did that, this cigar had come out, and this was the very first cigar to win the Parishioner Cigar of the Year. And you guys knock it out of the park every year with this. You did the black, the red, there was the Perdomo, what was it? Perdomo 30th sun-grown, I believe. And then there was the Aladino 85th. Every one of them so far that you guys have picked are fantastic cigars, but it's one of those things that going back, I'm like smoking this and I'm like, shit, man, I need to put this in my rotation a little bit more frequently. But for what it's worth, good cigar. All right, Villiger Entertainment Report. I actually have a couple of things to note. The first, I am continuing with my rewatch of Ted Lasso. I'm back half of season 2. Coming into, I'm in the back half of season 2, so I'm about a season and a half away from the new stuff, which I'm looking forward to. I'm in the part now where it's kind of becoming obvious that Nate is disgruntled, and man, this is the part of this show that I just like. I get to, and I'm just like, it's awkward, and at the same time, I'm just like, man, I hate Nate. He's being such a dick to some of these people, and it's like, who are you? You were nothing until Ted came along. Anyway, whatever. And then what else do I have to talk about? I've been a little frustrated with Premier League soccer, or Premier League football, if you want to call it that. So it's supposed to be Peacock has the streaming rights for the Premier League games in the United States, and they promote it like, oh, catch all the games on Peacock and NBC. Okay, that's great. NBC also owns USA. They're running a shit ton of games on USA. And the only way to stream the USA network is through having a subscription to Sling in the Blue package. Well, shit, man, that's $46 a month. And then Peacock is like, what, $15 or whatever I think I'm paying for the base package that has sports. So, I mean, all of a sudden now, to be able to watch the European or the English soccer, you're looking at, I don't know, somewhere in the neighborhood of like $60, $65. And what sucks about that is it's not even like they're like, okay, we're going to put all the Arsenal games on USA. We're going to put all the Chelsea games on Peacock, blah, blah, blah. They're bouncing them all over the place. So, like, I'm following Aston Villa, and Aston Villa was on Peacock last week. But now this weekend, specifically on the 31st, the Aston Villa game is on USA. So now I have to decide, do I want to subscribe to Sling for a month so that I can get that game? There's likely going to be another game with them at some point over the course of that month. But it's a pain in the ass. And it's like, why can't I just get one location to watch all these games? And that's pissing me off. That's just one of my little frustrations that I have with that. The other little frustration I've got with my soccer is, as I've mentioned, I'm really liking the Scottish League, the Scottish Premier League, because those guys are fucking crazy, and they're great, and it's more exciting than the English stuff. Because the English stuff, let's be real, once they get up a couple of goals, then they start playing keep away, and it's just dinking it around to run the clock down, and that's boring. I'm actually watching Fulham do it right now. They're up 2-0 over whoever the hell they're playing. And we're in the 77th minute on the TV right now, and they're just dinking it around. Although actually it does look like he's trying to score again, so that's nice. Anyway, but my point is, the Scottish stuff is crazy. They're all over the place. And unfortunately, Paramount Plus has that deal, but they do select Scottish League games. So like this weekend coming up, they're doing one on Friday and one on Sunday. Nothing on Saturday. And the ones that they're doing, it's like, well, I don't give a shit about either one of those games. Where are the ones that I care about? So, like, I don't know. And there's no real good way of doing that. I mean, I guess I could get into the point where I'm, like, getting a VPN and trying to, like, get some sort of an app to where, I can stream, like, broadcasts from other countries and shit. Try and claim that I'm, based in England, but in reality, I'm based in the middle of the United States, and, through the power of VPN, be able to get like Sky or some bullshit. But like, what the hell? Why am I having to do that? Stupid. We live in such a technologically advanced age. Why is everything not available to me through some sort of an easy method? I'm not saying I don't want to pay. I mean, I will pay a subscription, but don't make it like a stupidly expensive subscription. And Sling, don't even get me started on that. We all fucking cut the cord in order to get cheap, because we were sick and tired of cable bill prices. And then Sling comes along and they're like, oh, you can get all these channels. So it's basically just streaming cable. And they've gotten their rates up to the point. Now, granted, I guess $45 is still cheaper than cable. But in order to get everything you want on Sling, if you want to get the cable experience, the full cable experience, get all the channels they offer, you're paying a lot more than $45. But I don't know. It's just fucking stupid. And I'm angry about the streaming thing. What else is in the Villiger Entertainment Report? AEW All In is this weekend. I'll be watching that. That's on Sunday. It's their equivalent of WrestleMania. And that's pretty cool. They're actually having it at Wembley Stadium this year. They're doing it over in London. And, man, they're on pace to sell like 50,000 tickets for that thing. So it's actually shaping up to be a really big damn event. So that'll be fun. Get some wrestling in. What else? Oh, I got a podcast. So, I had one of my, like, I'm just going to say it, one of my favorite true crime podcasts. And Marlene Beaudry is going to be mad at me for saying that. But you know what? I think it's entertaining. Killer in the Code is back. Yes, Killer in the Code. For those of you who don't remember me talking about this one before, when it was on before, Killer in the Code is it's a true crime podcast where a guy details an investigation done by another guy. And this guy looked into the Zodiac cipher, the ones that were uncracked. And through AI and a variety of other methods, he cracked the cipher that names where the Zodiac was supposed to give his name. And there was a name in there. He actually did put a name in there. And then through this investigation, all sorts of other things come along. And basically what it now points to is the idea. The whole point of this podcast is the concept, the idea, the case that's built that the Zodiac Killer was actually also the guy who committed the Black Dahlia killing, which, if you're not familiar with that, it's a super famous murder and unsolved. And so we may have one dude that committed two extraordinarily famous crime sprees. Now this dude is dead, so it's not like justice is going to be done. But the case lays out, or the podcast lays out the case. And it ran for 10 episodes, and I thought it was done. But all of a sudden, as I'm flying back from Florida, I'm sitting at the airport in the podcast app, looking to see what I'm going to listen to on the flight back. And sure enough, there are 2 brand new episodes of Killer in the Code. It's back. They have more. They got a hold of this dude's military records, including his psychological exams. And so we listened to that in the first of the second season. And then in the second episode, they sit down with 2 judges, one of whom used to be a former prosecutor, one of whom used to be a former cop. And they ask them, take a look at the case. Let us know what you think. Tell us, whatever. And they give their opinions about it. And of course, they're positive opinions about it. Now, there is a lot of criticism about, this theory that's being put forth. People trying to say that this is wrong and that is wrong. Some people even say that the guy who they've named was actually cleared in the Black Dahlia. Not true. But anyway, for what it's worth, look, take it with a grain of salt. Maybe it's not right. Maybe it is right. I personally am skewing in the category of it's a really compelling argument. Very, very compelling. And yeah, you can say it's a bunch of circumstantial evidence, but they even address that in the episode with the judges where they talk about circumstantial evidence and people dismiss it as circumstantial. But in reality, all circumstantial means is that it's now in the eyes of either the court or the jury to determine the weight of that evidence. So a mountain of circumstantial evidence can be very, very valuable, and they have a mountain of circumstantial evidence on this guy. So for what it's worth, if you're interested in the Zodiac killings or the Black Dahlia killings or both, I find it to be an entertaining podcast. So it's called The Killer in the Code, and it's back, and I'm excited. So I got that going for me. All righty. See, I had some stuff. I actually had some stuff. All righty. I know I did it with Kenn, but it's a Friday bit, so I feel as though I have to do it. And I actually have some stuff.
Guess what, motherfucker?
It's time for 3 cigars we smoked and enjoyed since Monday. I would say this week, but I recorded with Kenn on Monday, so since Monday. Since Monday, I've had some things. The first was a cigar from El Mago Cigars called The Jug. Now, that's one of the ones that come in the little tins. They have these little tins. Let me see if I can, you know what? I have it in the house. I should have freaking brought it out here, and I didn't think to. That pisses me off. I should have done that. But anyway, yeah, The Jug. It's a Maduro wrapper on that thing. Not quite sure the blend makeup on it. I will say the wrapper did crack on me on that. I did not have my glue at the time. Wish I would have. But all things being equal, it was a very nice smoke. And I did get a decent amount of time out of it, even though it's Robusto. I'm down to 2 because you get 5 in the tin. And I shared one with Kenn and one with Trey Mac when we got together for a little bit one day. And so we each smoked them, but I do still have 2 left, and I dig it. I thought it was fun. And I like the artwork on these little tins. That's specifically why I bought it, was I wanted the tin. Because it's kind of cool. So it's kind of almost like a cigar version of a Iron Man kind of character on there. It's fun. I liked it. I thought it was cool. It appealed to my nerd side. The next one that I smoked last night, while I was watching my wrestling show. I smoked an Aladino Corojo Reserva Toro. And, it's been a minute since I had a Corojo Reserva, and that was a good one. I will say, my favorite size for the Corojo Reserva is the number 4. They put that out. It's a special thing when they put that out because it only comes out on a limited time. It's not even every year anymore. It used to be every November, but they don't do that anymore. So I don't know if they're putting it out this November or not, but the Corojo Reserva number 4, if you guys track that down, if you find one, do yourself a favor and try that. Otherwise, the Robusto, in probably one of the few instances that I will tell you a Robusto is my favorite size, because I am not a Robusto guy, but if I can't get the number 4, the Robusto is kind of my go-to size for the Corojo Reserva normally. But in this case, I did track down a Toro, and I wanted that, so I bought that, and I smoked it, and I enjoyed it. Now, the last one. The last one, I need to bring up a picture, because I need to verify, I need to give it a look-see. Yep, that's what I thought. All right. The last one I had is a very special cigar. So when I was there celebrating Kenn's birthday on Tuesday, Kenn has procured a collection of very old, very aged Cohiba Siglo 6, Cuban Cohibas, Siglo 6. Specifically, the band has a secondary label on it, naming it the Edición Limited, or Limitada, I can't really read the rest of it, 2004. So we're talking 22 years worth of age on these guys. I don't remember the story of how he procured these, but he did. And so, as a birthday treat, he and I sat down, and he gave me one, and we each smoked one. I have my opinions about Cuban cigars. By and large, I think at this point in time, Cuban cigars are overrated. I think the ones that are coming out now, you have construction issues, you have one flavor note, that kind of thing. And admittedly, this had essentially one flavor note throughout. This was not a complicated cigar, but it was so good. It was smooth. It was easy. The draw was amazing. The flavor that was there was amazing. You had that little floral note to it, little earthiness. It was so nice, so balanced. It was such a good cigar. I got over 2 hours out of that thing, closer to 2.5. I smoked it down to absolutely nothing practically. It was a fantastic cigar and a very special treat to smoke that. So I want to publicly thank Kenn again for gifting me one on his birthday of all things. He could have been like, look at what I've got, but he shared, and I really want to thank him for that. Now where that becomes relevant is just for those of you who are coming to Pulpit Fest. Maybe be prepared for something, for the opportunity, perhaps the opportunity to have your own. I'm not gonna say we're not gifting one in every bag. I'm telling you that right now. I don't want anybody being like, oh my God, Nick is so cool. He's giving us a Cohiba Siglo 6 in every bag. That's not what I'm saying. I know Trent, he likes to make shit up about what I'm going to do for everybody at these things. And I just want to stop the rumors right now before they even start. I'm not giving away 22-year-old Cohibas to everybody. But all I'm saying is, if you're into this kind of thing, if this sounds like something that you might want to try it. Let's be real. It's a very rare opportunity to have one of these. Just be watching when you get to Pulpit Fest. There might be an opportunity. Anyway, so there's that. So it was a good cigar, fantastic cigar. So I've had a good week of cigars, actually. All right. Well, I did already announce that Friday, September 18th and Saturday, September 19th are the upcoming Zoom herfs. So make sure you mark your calendars for that. Otherwise, this is the point in the show when I tell you that I am available on Instagram at the Cigar Pulpit. I am on Facebook, where we have the Pulpit Parishioners group. It's a private group. Find that and send me a request. I will let you in, and then you can start making friends and sharing what you're smoking and having a good time. I'm on Twitter/X. You can watch this on Rumble and YouTube. I need your calls. You can call the hotline at area code 863-874-0000. That's 863-874-0000, or tofu pie with no E, 0000. Head on over to cigarpulpit.com. There's a little pop-up box that comes up. That gets you on the list for the Cigar Chronicle newsletter. And that'll come out, once a month-ish. You can get that. And then while you're there, if perhaps maybe you've been on the fence, but you're like, you know what? I got a little bit of money I'm going to throw together. And if you do, that's awesome. And you feel like coming down to Pulpit Fest, there are still some general admission tickets available. You can head on over to cigarpulpit.com. Look for the first post. It has the poster of Pulpit Fest on it. And you can sign up, get your ticket, and join us October 1st through the 4th in Palm Coast, Florida at Ash and Ale. And you can join us for Pulpit Fest. It'll be a good time. It'll be fun. Other than that, I think that's it, guys. I appreciate you taking time out of your day to sit and smoke with me. My West Tampa Black, I still have about half of it to go. I'm going to finish watching the Fulham game. Oh, it looks like they're up 3-0 now. And I'm going to finish watching that. And I will catch those of you who are doing the Zoom herf in about 2 hours on Zoom. And we'll go from there. Anyway, guys, this has been another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm Nick. Everybody, stay safe, stay smoky. Oh, and if you forgot, Coyote vs. Acme comes out today, Friday. Probably going to be the movie I've been most excited for all year long. I'm going to the drive-in this weekend with my son. They've got a double feature, Coyote vs. Acme, followed by Paw Patrol, the new Paw Patrol movie. I hope my kid stays awake. Bottom line, guys, stick a finger in the eye of the man, the Warner Brothers executives who tried to kill this movie, and now it's coming out. Maybe go check out Coyote vs. Acme in the theaters. All the reviews are saying it's so awesome. I think it looks hilarious. Go be a kid. Go see Coyote vs. Acme. Later.